I think there's two types of engineers. There's one engineer that will just like press record, press delete, or there's a guy that's like hands on that like, no, I think you should do this, or like I think you should add this. And I like to be like that. You want to be hands on. I think because like you as well, like, you know, because we come from production, we can be like, oh no, I think you should use this part of the beat for the verse instead. That's what I do a lot of the time. Like the beat will come, and then some producers just obviously have it a set way, but the artist has written it a different way. And like, say the busiest part of the beat, the artist will use that as like a verse, and I'm like, nah, bro, why don't you try this bit? I'm always like, try it, and if you don't like it, we'll just put it back. And then like 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh yeah, shit, that makes sense.
Yo, what's good, people? It's AJ Cactus, and we're back again with episode 24 of Cactus Convos now. In today's episode, I've got one of my personal boys with me. He's a sick producer, an engineer. He's worked with some of the best in the UK, like AJ Tracey, Chip, Wiley, JK, just to name a few. And he goes by Prince Baza. Baza, what's good, man?
What you saying, brother? Thank you for having me, man.
I'm all good, man. Thank you for taking the time to come on. I know we've been trying to organise this for a while now. I think you were the first person that asked to jump on it, like years back before I even started it.
Yeah, I know. We've just been both busy, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. But how's everything been going, though?
Yeah, good, man. Good. So, yeah, I've been doing more just engineering work at the minute. Just catching up with Christmas. Obviously, I've had a little Christmas break, just getting into the swing of things again.
Yeah. It looks like you've been going crazy these past few months, though. You're collecting plaques like Pokemon cards, bro. Every new picture is a picture with a plaque.
Oh, God. Yeah,
so talk to me,
everyone.
Have they come about?
They're just from, well, some of them are production ones.
Yeah.
Just people that I've actually produced for, like Mowgli, for example. I did his Daily Duppy that was just gone.
Yeah.
And then some of them are more like engineering, but more like a P. Diddy production, you know, where you just add your bit, but you're not actually made the beat, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just some artists, some local artists that I work with. They're doing really well. A kid called Idiax, he's only 15.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's just doing some crazy numbers.
Is that the like 10 million streams one you got?
10 mil. I mean, I think he's close to 20 mil now. So like, he's nearly, yeah. And that's just one song. That's his first song, his first real main single that he's put out.
And is that's one that you've mixed, right? But you did some behind the scenes kind of producing as well.
Yeah, so like when I say production, it's more like the producer will send the beat, and then I'll just like either like change the order or like, you know, just do stuff like low pass or high pass, or, you know, I can't explain it. I've started engineering. I realized that you are still producing. You're just producing in like a different way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. It's like you're kind of orchestrating it as well.
Yeah. You're there. Your job is to like orchestrate the whole song, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, definitely. That's sick though. How old's he? I didn't know he was so young.
Yeah, bro, he's 15, man. Like he made 15? That song. He made that last summer in the school holidays. Like, I always say to him, must have been sick. Made in the school holidays. Yeah. Imagine going back to school and like you've got like 10 mil on your track, and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everyone's loving him.
Yeah, he was saying like be walking down corridors and everyone was like turning around and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But no, he's done well.
Was he working for a while? Obviously, he can't be working for that long to say he's only 15. But before he put that track out, had he uploaded many others?
To be fair, I think he recorded quite a few, but he hadn't really put any out.
Yeah.
So that was his first one. To be fair, bro, what he did was he put a clip of it, of like when he was making it on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And then that just got some mad traction. And his TikTok got like, when he showed it me to begin with, it was like 250K.
What?
Yes. And then like now I think it's like 500,000. But like, because he saw the traction, he was like, you know what? I'm going to try this song and see how it goes.
So that was before he even released the track? He just put a snippet out?
Yeah, which was a sick idea. And it was just like a little studio clip of like, you know, how it's getting made and whatever.
Yeah.
And then, everyone from TikTok just followed over. So just blew up from that.
It's the power of TikTok. I don't use TikTok enough. Like, I have an account I upload sometimes, but I need to use it more, man. I've heard so many stories about people blowing up on TikTok. It's crazy.
I know, same. I love like watching other producers, you know, when they do like, like they'll just sample like EastEnders and just like,
yeah.
I'm just like, yo, why didn't I do that? I can do that, but
definitely. It seems like that's the wave right now.
Yeah.
You know what's blowing up at the moment? I don't know if you've heard it, but me and Westy did a remix to that Talking to the Moon. I think the original was Bruno Mars, but we sampled a different version.
Right.
And I didn't put it on TikTok or anything, but it's on YouTube. It was getting some good views on there. But there's a different version on TikTok now blowing up. I don't know if it was made before me, but I'm only hearing it now. You know what I mean? And I'm like, shit, why didn't I just upload that, man? I've seen everyone dance to it and everything.
It's doing well. I've seen, a lot of people that are coming to studio now, like, I'm hearing just like some mad samples. Someone came the other day, like someone sampled a Still Dre and turned it into a drill beat.
Oh, that's hard.
And they jumped on that. Yeah, it's sick. And like, you know the Kanye West Blood on the Leaves?
Yeah.
So someone like vocal that, and I was just like, yo, this is sick. It's just like anything, and they'll turn it into like a drill format.
Yeah, sample drill is definitely the wave right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essential C just put that tune out, Retail Therapy. Have you heard that?
Hard, so hard.
I forgot what the original sample is, but that's been used in a lot of tracks, like a Kanye West one. And I forgot what else it was, but it's definitely the wave right now. Everyone's just flipping everything into drill.
A lot of, what else is popular? You know the Sleepy Hollow type beats, the lo-fi like drill beats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I realized when I've been at studio, like all like, you know, when we're at school, we kind of know straight away what's in, right?
Yeah.
And because I'm working with like younger kids, they're showing me like, yo, this is in now. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then like a couple weeks, it's like, yo, everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's becoming popular, like lo-fi drill beats. So somebody might sample like, I don't know, Ellie Goulding.
Right.
And then just turn it into a drill. You know what I'm saying? Find like an emotional bit and then turn it into a drill track, which is sick.
Yeah,
really.
that makes sense. I bet that's handy having like youngsters coming into the studio just for that exact reason. Because when you get a bit older, it's like you're in the loop, but you're kind of out of the loop. You know what I mean? Like you're obviously in the loop because you're like listening to music and keeping up to date with things, but you don't really know what's cool to kids. You get me? Until they actually tell you. So I bet that's handy to have.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be no dinosaur, like, but you know, like some elders get angry at like some of the youngsters, like, you're not meant to do that. I don't want to be that guy. I want to keep up with what's going on, and then
definitely.
still do our bit. You know what I mean?
I have to keep an open mind, really. I mean, it's younger people that decide what's cool or not, because old people aren't cool, are they? Let's face it, it's like younger kids.
And they move it. They do move the culture, man. I think.
Yeah, 100%. You know what, though? I've never even asked you how you got into producing. I think you've told me, like, how long you've been producing for, but you've never told me the full story about how you got into it, like, how you got your first copy of FL, like, who introduced you to everything. So, where did it even all begin?
Probably in school, brother. Yeah, probably would have been like year 9, I guess. And then I actually wanted to be a DJ, man, back then.
Yeah.
And back then, there wasn't like, obviously, like USB it was like CDs only. So it started.
Yeah.
It was just after vinyls with CDs. But the equipment was like so expensive. And like year 9, I ain't got like 600, 700 quid to invest in that.
Yeah, of course.
But then my boy was like, all right, you might like this, which is quite similar as production. Show me FL Studio, obviously cracked, like everyone gets cracked. And then I was like, yo, this is actually sick. So it's like, it was kind of like DJing, but not. But I just liked how you had more control of how everything's getting made. You know what I mean? But back then I was struggling, bro. Like it was like pots and pans just being bashed. That's what it sounded like. It was just like, I was
just
like,
the stock sounds, no drum kits, no nothing.
Yeah, and I don't know, but I was like, over time you realise actually I'm getting better, so I'll stick at it.
Yeah.
And then I've just never let it go. So I've just done that like throughout college. When uni with you.
Yeah.
Stuck out of uni. I just enjoyed it, bro. That's more the main thing. I just enjoyed making music, innit? So it didn't bother me how long it took or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Just doing it for the passion.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you started making music, started producing, I'm guessing it was probably like grime that was popping then, wasn't it? Or was this like before grime?
Yeah, no, you're probably right, brother. It's like, what would it have been? It was when like Wiley made like Igloo. Do you remember that beat?
Oh, yeah.
And like, what do you call it? And them kind of songs.
Yeah. I listened to a while back then.
Yeah, so that's like what? Well, I think I would have started 2006, 7. But like, it was annoying because my beats were like pots and pans. And then their beats were like that. And I was like, how have they got it sounding like that? But yeah, grime was a thing for a while, wasn't it? Like 2006 to like 2011, that was my thing.
Is that what you started making then?
Yeah.
Like, is that the genre you started with, yeah?
And it's also more about, because everyone around me was making grime, innit? So my mates were either grime spitters or whatever. Yeah. That was like the cool thing, wasn't it, for the bit?
Yeah, 100%. And now it's a whole new thing now. Drill's like, well, everyone says drill's basically the new grime, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is for the UK, but I don't know. I feel like drill's different because drill's worldwide right now. Like grime never really touch the States or just different countries, it was always a UK thing, wasn't it? No one else was trying to do grime.
No, but then I think is that because like YouTube and the internet weren't popping as much as it is now?
Yeah,
or is that
maybe.
just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, or is it just because, I don't know. But I like what the Americans do with Joe.
Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know, the UK was just never popping like worldwide for music, was it? But you might be right now that we've got all these social media platforms. Other people can just see things instantly, can't they? Whereas like, you know, when you were young and you were listening to radio and stuff, it was always just watching like music video channels apart from Channel U. It was always US stuff. There was never a big like UK rap artist, was there? A worldwide UK rap artist?
Nah.
It was never a thing.
The first one for me was like, obviously Wiley, but like it was like Dizzy Rascal, wasn't it really? Dizzy Rascal was like the man at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I like Lethal B. Lethal B was quite big back then.
Yeah, I remember him blowing up. Definitely.
But no, you are right. There was like, I don't know. I didn't really find any grime anywhere online unless it was like MySpace, innit? Like MySpace was a thing for a bit.
Yeah. MySpace days.
I don't know.
Is that still going? Do people still use MySpace for anything? I feel like it must be a website, but
I know. I think my account probably got deactivated, man. I'm like, it's the entire.
Yeah, I think I've got an old account somewhere. I couldn't remember like the password for the email address or anything, so I've probably still got some old grime tunes on there.
Probably.
Maybe.
No, it was sick. Anyway. It was good. It was good for the moment, for sure.
Oh, 100%. How, you know, when you first started, how were you even learning at that point? Were you watching tutorials or did you just have a boy that was showing you things?
Yeah, I can't remember who showed me, but yeah, my boy showed me to begin with.
Yeah.
And then like, you just realize like in your circle of friends, whoever's making beats, you kind of just pick stuff off, don't you? So like a couple of my boys are making beats as well, and I'd watch them like, oh, yo, I didn't think to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like, I didn't know that was there. That, and then like, what else helped me? I think it was more just practicing. So like, just experiment with everything that was on there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because you
can
actually do
the best way.
You can do quite a bit with the stock sounds. Like if you've got no other choice, you can still like fiddle around and fuck with the sounds a bit.
You're right. I feel like people like to make excuses and be like, I don't know, they want shortcuts. That's what I was trying to say. Like a lot of people ask me questions all the time, like, how do I get good at 808s or how do I get good at melodies? You know, just like simple questions like that. And it's like the only real answer is to just try. Like there isn't a code I can give you. Obviously, like there's chord progressions and stuff, but the only way you can actually get good at something is to just try, just make beats, even if they're shit. You get through those shit ones and you get to some all right ones and then you get to some better ones, you know what I mean? It's literally the only way.
Sometimes I get a question from kids like, yo, how long you been doing it, bro? And then I'll tell him and he's like, yo, how long will it take me to get good? And I'm like, yo, I don't know, do I? I don't know. But I'm like, don't think about that yet. Just like do it. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, only do it if you want to do it. Don't think about like, yo, if I do this for 2 years, then I'm going to blow.
Yeah. Because you don't want to put that pressure on yourself either, because there's no guarantees and it depends what kind of work you're putting in. But once you put that pressure on yourself, like, I need to get good in this amount of time, then you take the enjoyment away from it.
Yeah, for sure.
It just becomes stress then.
You know what I realised as well, bro? I feel like kids are just blowing up at a mad age. Like, you could be like 15, 16, and like, you could be getting deals. Like, the Hazy kid, he's just got a deal as well.
Oh, yeah.
From Liverpool. And then, like, obviously, like, Iddy actually I work with. I mean, he's 15. He signed to Universal, man. It's like, it's huge.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And, like, obviously, back then, I don't know if we really had that back then. Like, I think people were blowing up at a young age, but not like 16, 17.
I think that's the power of social media again, because back then, like, before all these platforms, you had to prove yourself, didn't you? You had to be going to, like, battles, like, just all kinds of events. Like, you had to get your name out there. You were handing out CDs, everything. But now it's like you can make a TikTok. If it's catchy enough, it might blow up overnight. Not to say that's guaranteed for everyone, because it doesn't always happen, but it can happen. I've seen it happen loads of times. It's mad.
For sure. I know.
People must hate that, you know, like artists that have worked for like, let's say there's an artist that's grinding for like 10 years, had to go through like everything to get to that point, and then they see a kid blow up overnight. They might be like, what the fuck?
Of like one song in it, and it's just on TikTok. I don't know. It's crazy, brother. It's crazy. But then also, I think it's harder in the sense where like, if you can't sustain that, you're just going to slip right back down in it. Like, you might just be that one hit wonder in it.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Plus, you might not have a catalogue to back it as well. Whereas, like, someone who's put those extra years in might have a huge catalogue, and then if they have one tune that blows up, all the people that are listening to that one tune can go back and see your whole catalog and then just dive into everything else. Whereas someone might blow up, but then they've got nothing else. You know what I mean? They've just got that one song.
Do you do that as well? You know, if you found out like about, I don't know, when you first saw like J. Cole, did you just like dive into his old stuff or whatever?
Yeah, I always like do a quick research, and especially if they've got a YouTube channel, I'll go like right back to the first video, see if they've got anything up there. I like to see where people have started. I like to see the journey.
Yeah, same.
You?
Same. Yeah. I think I've done that with everyone that's like all the big artists in America and stuff. I did it with like Drake.
Yeah.
Anyone that I heard, I just like, let me just go back. Let me just hear the mixtape stuff. I feel like the mixtape stuff was like probably some of the best stuff because that's when they were definitely. Like, they were pushing to blow, weren't they? So putting out the best work.
That hunger stage is always the best, isn't it? And then, I don't know, you know, when artists blow up and they start, they have to change everything because during that hunger stage, they're talking about the struggle and trying to make it and everything. And obviously you can relate to certain things, but then when they blow up, it's like they talk about how much they've got. But then again, how can they talk about a struggle then? Because they've already been through the struggle and they make it through to the other end. So it's a tricky one.
It's true.
But I do always prefer the earlier stages. Definitely. You can just feel the hunger more, can't you, when you hear the tracks?
Yeah. And like, even stuff like Kanye's first album. Was it College Dropout?
Yeah.
Oh, fam, it's just like some of the beats. Like even now if I play them, I'm like, yo, this guy was like 20 years ahead of his time, innit?
That's just a classic, isn't it?
Sure.
Did you watch this thing with Drake recently?
I didn't know. I didn't.
I didn't watch it all. But I was kind of flicking through, and he was playing like all of his old bangers, and you forget like how many classics he's actually got until you see him perform live and performing them all. And man, it's crazy. He's just got like hit after hit.
You know, sometimes if like I'm going on a long drive, like an hour plus drive, I'll just put Kanye West in on Spotify and then hit shuffle. And like, yo, this man's got like countless bangers. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
and you know the words of them all and everything.
I tried to. I think he's what's he doing? Oh yeah, he's got something coming out on Netflix. I've seen like a documentary or something.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, just sick. About like his earlier stages. So it's like, you know, back, I can't remember what album it's for, but he recorded it all on video.
Oh shit, I bet that's sick. I'll go crazy. Who were some producers that were inspiring you when you were coming up?
Back then, I'll have to split them up because I like some of the UK ones. Like the UK ones will probably be like Wiley. Wiley was sick. I used to love Del Rotten was sick. Del Rotten, who's Zeph Ellis now. Who else was sick? Da Vinci was sick. He made a couple beats for Kano. Brown Eyes, I think he made. He was good. And then like American producers, it was like Timbaland. Timbaland was so sick. I was just like, this man.
Just my creative, innit?
Yeah, just crazy. Who else was sick? I mean, just still like Dr. Dre was sick. I liked his sound. But then later on down the line, it was like Kanye West came into the picture. So I thought, yo, this guy's beats are sick. Like, you know how he's chomping up samples and stuff.
Yeah.
I liked his sound. But no,
I like sample flipping game is crazy.
Oh man, I'm just like this guy. Oh, like it's crazy. I just loved how we just pick like 3 or 4 samples and then make a song out of that. Like, how did he know that goes together? Yeah, crazy. What about you, bro? I never asked you actually.
Like production wise, who inspired me?
Yeah, you know, like when he was like school or whatever.
I'd say I probably got most inspiration from like US producers at that time, just because I was more. I loved artists like Nas and Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang, that kind of stuff. I was always on that like boom bap, like gritty, like East Coast rap. So I liked producers like DJ Premier, Ninth Wonder, obviously Dr. Dre, and then same when Kanye West came into the game. Mine was blown by his productions. Timbaland was always crazy, and Pharrell too. Pharrell was always sick. It wasn't Pharrell though, was it? It was the Neptunes. It was them two together.
Oh yeah, him and
I forgot the other one's name.
Chad,
yeah, that's it. So people like that from the US. From the UK, like back in the day, I remember just having grind beats from people like Virgo, Wiley, just all the grime heads. So probably similar names.
He was more like hip hop back in school, innit? I remember.
Back in school I was more hip hop. I did get into grime though. Like that's how I started in music, like just making like grime music. But I think that was because it was just the thing that was popping at the time. Like everyone was just playing grime and everyone was spitting grime. So trying to come in with like boom bap bars in a grime cipher, just it won't really happen. But I went like boom bap, then grime, then just straight back to like boom bap. But now I just listen to everything. I used to be one of those guys that's like, nah, if it's not meaningful, like if his lyrics are shit, then I'm not listening to it. But now it's just like, I just kind of accept music for what it is. Because some people some people like to tell deep stories, like you'll get like your J. Cole's and your Nas and your Davies, people like that. But then you'll just get people that are just there to like give you some energy, hype you up when you're in the gym and just enjoy that music, you know what I mean? So I just appreciate it all now.
I know, because like people forget not everybody wants the earache of like another man's problems, innit? Like,
yeah, of course. Like some people are trying to just let go and just have fun with it. So I get it now.
I think music's good when like it's relatable. So like, you know, if like you're torn to bits because you're not with your girl anymore or something, and then you can just listen to some sad stuff. I've noticed that works for a lot of people. Or like, if you're in the gym, for example, I could just put like 50 Cent on. Yeah, and it just gives you that extra pump, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. You're not trying to listen to nothing too deep in the gym, are you? Like, you're not trying to get all meaningful.
Nah, I can say. No, but you know what? Stuff like that's probably good for like a drive or whatever, innit? You know, if you're driving somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. Or
just chilling in your yard or whatever.
You know what? For drives now, though, most of the time I'm putting podcasts on or ebooks. Sick. I rarely even the only time I really listen to music is just when I'm either doing some research at home or if I'm training, like if I'm in the gym exercising. But if I'm driving, I'm just putting books on all the time or podcasts.
Have you got is it Audible?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I need to get on that.
It's good, you know, like because you don't always get the time to pick up a book, do you, and sit there and actually read. You might get a little bit of time before bed or if you're on holiday or something. But with Audible, it's just like, I don't know, you can flick it on whenever. You might be like brushing your teeth. I've just constantly got AirPods in if I'm brushing my teeth, if I'm making some food, whatever I'm doing. You know, that time when just them times where like you couldn't physically hold something. So like you can kind of do two things at once.
Yeah, for sure. No, they are sick. And like, yeah, you know what? I think I did used to listen to him. Like, this sounds bad, but like to put me to sleep, you know, like just before bed.
No, I do that as well. A lot of people do that. My girlfriend does that. Like, that's common, that.
Yeah, and it's like, you will still remember some stuff, and then obviously you'll knock out eventually. But
yeah. And then you have to rewind it the next day just to try and catch where you were before you fell asleep.
Among that.
What kind of stuff do you listen to, if it's books or podcasts?
It's a mixture, really. I like Producer Grind.
Oh, yeah.
I like some of their stuff.
You put me onto them.
Did I?
This was like years ago. Yeah, I think just when I was trying to get back into producing properly, you were like, check Producer Grind, and then I just binge watched like all of the videos, all of the podcasts, everything.
That's sick. I think they ask like some really good questions, man, and they have like good people on.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if it's away from music, bro, then it will just be stuff like just more like self-help, like spiritual books probably, or like, you know, business-minded books.
Yeah. I'm the same. I don't really read fiction. It's like that exact same thing, like self-help or business books. Because my girlfriend, she's always reading like fiction books, and she always sees me with these like business books and stuff, and she's like, "You can't enjoy them. Why don't you just read a normal book?" I'm like, you know,
I can't enjoy the fiction book, fam. I can't paint that picture in my head. I need to like see it, like on a film or something.
Of course. I feel like I want to be educated when I'm reading.
Yeah, same. I want to feel smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to.
You put me onto any? What kind of stuff? Have you got some examples?
50 Cent. I just listened to 50 Cent's new one. I think it's Hustle Harder. Oh, God, I can't remember what it's called.
I didn't know he had a new one out. Just looking, I've got his old one here. The one with Robert Greene, the 50th Law. I've got that on the side there.
Oh yeah, that one's sick. That's a really good book, especially for anyone that's like trying to get into music and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good book. What else have you got? I mean, stuff like The Secret's sick. You know, if you just need to like reset and go back to basics, The Secret's good. I like. What else would be good? Robert Greene's got another one called Mastery, which is pretty good, and that's just about like mastering anything, any craft.
Yeah,
he's a good author. He'll go into a lot of detail. He's got
quite a few out, doesn't he?
Yeah, and like he'll put like in a lot of examples, so you can kind of take in everyone's story.
Yeah, I need to listen to some of his.
There's a guy called, if you want like proper self-help stuff, I think there's a guy called Jack Canfield, which is sick. And he's all about like law of attraction and Just like trying to get somewhere, trying to be successful, but like doing it in a spiritual way as well.
Got you.
What you listen to at the minute?
The one I just finished was the 4-Hour Work Week. You ever heard of that?
Oh, Tim Ferriss, isn't it?
Yeah. I've just bought his other one. He's got a few out, doesn't he? I've just bought his Tool of Titans or something like that, but I haven't started it yet.
Sick.
But yeah, just finished the 4-Hour Work Week. The one before that, I read a lot of marketing books. I'm just seeing what's next to me. So I've got like Gary Vee's books, .com secrets, copywriting secrets, like all these like marketing ones. They definitely help. They're all good.
I've got one of Gary's. Is it jab, jab, left, something? I can't remember
jab, 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 right hook or something. Yeah.
Sick book though. It makes so much sense, like when he breaks it down. I know. I think for the field we're in, like, for the stuff we do, is probably beneficial, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And then for some like ones for the mind, there's one called Chimp Paradox. That's pretty good. Obviously the standard like music business one. But yeah, mainly stuff like that, man.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah. But getting back into music anyway. So I want to know. So from when you started producing until like now, what are some things that you've had to switch up in terms of like the style or your mixes, or just how's everything changed from then until now?
That's a good question, brother. That's a really good question. I think that's more just down to, I mean, it depends what kind of producer you want to be. You can be that guy that's like, yo, I'm not bending.
Yeah.
Only come to me for grind beats, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like you kind of limit yourself a bit. So I didn't want to be that guy. I wanted to do like as many genres as I can that I'd be good at. So I kind of just got influenced by whatever was on anyway. So if I like whoever Central C beat, I'd go to my laptop thinking, yo, if I was to make Central C a beat now, what would I do? And how would I make it? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think, like, long story short, it's more just keeping up with what's going on. But I do know a lot of producers, which is cool, that would just be like, yo, I only make this sound, so only come to me for this sound, innit? Otherwise, I can't make you that. Like, I think you're more like me, where you'll just make whatever, innit? Just like whatever you feel.
Yeah, definitely. There's probably benefits to both. Like, obviously, if you stick to one thing, then at least people know you for that thing, and they're like, oh, if I need a grind beat, I'm going to go straight to him because I know he's the guy for it. But yeah, like you said, I feel like you kind of limit yourself, because it's like, imagine not knowing how to make a drill beat now. Like,
oh no,
if I'd say, because you have a studio, right? The amount of people that come in there to record, what percentage would you say are bringing in drill beats? If you're just going to guess.
I'm saying what, 90, 95,
95. Yeah, so that's crazy. So imagine you like not being willing to make drill beats. That's like you just fucking having a 5% chance of getting one of these artists to buy your beats, or you know what I mean, compared to like the 95% of people that are actually wanting drill beats. So
it's true.
I feel like you can definitely limit yourself.
I think I did have that though.
You did have what?
That like trying to not limiting myself on purpose, but like when like Joe first came out, I was like, yo, this is the same as the last beat. Like, we can all make this.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, yo, I'm being a dinosaur. I need to like try and take in what's going on.
Definitely.
What were you saying, brother?
I can't remember what I was gonna say. I lost my train of thought then.
Oh, you saying about people come to my studio?
Yeah. So obviously everyone's bringing in drill beats, and I kind of forgot what I was gonna say after that. But yeah, I think I was gonna say, like, even when I started, when I was trying to get back into producing properly, I was still making like boom bap beats, but I was like, no one's spitting on boom bap really, apart from like maybe like a set few people, and like maybe like older rappers or somewhere in like the East Coast in America or something. But I had to switch things up, man, and I knew drill was popping at that time as well, so I thought I'd give it a go. And you know what, like, personally, I like trying other genres as well, because once you make the same thing over and over again, you kind of get stuck in a little rut where it gets a bit boring, man. And then once you make a completely new genre, it's like you pick up some new skills for a start, because every different genre has a bit of a different process, doesn't it? Like, there's a few different techniques that you use in each genre to get a certain sound. So then even if drill's not your main genre, by trying a drill beat, you could maybe take a few techniques and then bring that back to your main genre, and then you've merged the two. You know what I mean? Like, right now, because I started making boom bap beats, I know how to sample. So when I'm making drill beats now, like, sampling was my thing. So making like sampled drill beats is like perfect for me because it's merging the two things. So
that's a sick way of it. I didn't think of it that way, but that's sick. You're right.
Yeah.
So, right. Like you can use best of both worlds, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think I had the habit as well. Like, you know, when you keep making the same thing, I had a habit of like using the same sounds. And I was like, yo, I've got like 3 million snares and I keep using this stupid snare in it. I need to just change up my shit, man.
Yeah, you're right.
What did I struggle with when it came to making drill? Oh, I think it was the slides. It was like you can do a slide, but to put it in the right place is like, it's like art, innit? It's like,
yeah, definitely. It definitely takes a few tries, doesn't it? I remember, I don't even know what my first drill beat sounded like. It was probably so dead, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's just an interesting thing to make it.
But
same
I feel
with
like
anything though, you've got to do it enough times.
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't think, not saying that drill's a bad thing, but I didn't think it lasts this long. You know how music has like, it's like fashion in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Where, so it's just kind of like formed. It's just like the template's still there, but they're just changing like the main sounds. You know, before it used to be like more darker drill beats where it was just like a piano, and 808s.
It was like the same chord, wasn't it? Every time.
Yeah. But that was sick for the time. But then, like, obviously, everyone kind of got bored of it, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's in a good place, like right now? Are you happy with where drill's at?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I do. I think the content's better now, for sure. Like, you know, because people are using more lo-fi drill beats.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like, you know, Sleepy Hollow type beats where there's like R&B sample and stuff in the back. I think that's sick because then like the artists can talk about something different, just like life or like girl or whatever, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think at one stage it was all about just like chef man up and where man up. yeah. And like me personally, I don't mind listening to one or two, but like listen to like 10 tracks like that straight. I'm like, yo, fuck it.
Yeah.
This is a lot. It's too much.
Sends you to a bad place, doesn't it? There's only so much that you can take.
Yeah, I think right now though, G, you're right. I think it's probably the favorite where it is now. Like you said, that you know you can sample stuff, like sample anything and put it to a drill. That's probably my favorite right now where it is. So hopefully this stays for a bit, man.
Yeah, you're right. I'm kind of liking this stage. Some people hate it. Some people like I'll see like they just hate hearing like samples just flipped into drill. a lot of the posts that I see are from producers that might have like, I don't know, they helped kind of shape drill. You know what I mean? Like early on when it was like the dark piano sound. Because that was drill, wasn't it? But now I guess it's more commercial. A lot of people don't like it. Like loads of people love it, but then there's like a set few people that hate it because it's like, nah, this isn't what drill was supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's like getting too commercial now. Which I can kind of see from their point of view if they like helped like shape the sound, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. But I know what you mean. Like if I was one of them guys that just wanted to make the dark drill beats and like all these kids are just coming in and just like flipping R&B samples, like
singing on it and everything. It's like it's in the degrees.
Oh yeah, shit. That's another thing. Yeah, like people actually sing on them now as well, which is sick.
Yeah.
And I like when drill first came out, I wouldn't have thought, yo, you could probably sing on a drill beat.
Yeah, you're right. That was the last thing you would have thought.
Have you done a couple of them, like the lo-fi drill beats?
Yeah, I've merged everything with drill, man. I've got like a YouTube series where I'll like get influence from different countries and make like African inspired drill beats, Brazilian inspired drill beats. I'll just find anything to like merge with drill. Christmas drill beat, like everything. But now I've done like a few I've definitely done a few R&B ones, a few lo-fi sounding ones. What recently? I think my main style is like orchestral drill. That's my main thing. But yeah, I've tried everything. Have you?
Yeah, probably the same as you, brother. But I probably like the R&B and lo-fi sound more than anything right now.
Yeah.
But I was just about to say before I forget, fam, that last loop pack. Oh man.
The Vici loop kit.
Sick. Yeah, fire.
Appreciate that, man.
I do like that sound though. It's like kind of it's like a Pop Smoke kind of sound. You know, the strings
definitely.
and the orchestra. I love that. But no, I do like that. That was like my favorite up until the R&B lo-fi stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think maybe the next, because I've put out so many packs like dark orchestral. So I need, I think the next one I might focus more on, I don't know, just something different, more melodic stuff, lo-fi stuff, just anything like just the opposite to dark orchestral, you know, just to switch it up.
Oh yeah, because you know you've done a couple, haven't you? Where it's like orchestral.
Yeah. Most of them, like the loop kits anyway, they've always been pretty dark.
Do you use what's it called? Arcade?
Yeah, I use arcades. I don't use it loads anymore because once you've used those vocal packs a few times, like you start hearing them all the time, don't you, with loads of beats. So I was trying to use other things like contact banks for vocals or splice. But no, arcade's sick. I do love arcade. Do you use it? Yeah.
I do, yeah. But like, same kind of reason as you, like you start to hear all the sounds being used, which is not a problem. I mean, everyone's using it. I think it's just what you do to the sound, I guess. Yeah,
you're right. And it's only producers that notice that shit. You know, and like when I say, I hear that all the time, like the average listener isn't going to be thinking, yo, that's an arcade bank.
Yeah. No one notices, really. I've heard some of the stuff on Splice being used. So sometimes like, when you've probably fired a sample on Splice and you made a beat, but you've not put it out. And then like someone famous just puts out that beat. You're like, shit, I could have put that out.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I guess that's the problem with royalty-free loops, isn't it? If everyone's using the same stuff, if you're not really changing it too much, or if you're just taking the loop and putting drums on it, which is, again, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But then, just for that exact reason, you might find someone that puts out the song first, and then whoever song is second, it don't matter like who made it first, whoever releases it first, that's the one that people are going to know it for. You know what I mean?
Isn't it? I was going to say, do you prefer sampling or like just keying in your own stuff?
Good question. I like a bit of both, you know. I like sampling because to me, like the melody is the harder part. Like no one really gets drum block, do they? You can always like throw drums on, but sometimes you can get some bad melody block where you can't think of anything, or you end up using the same chord progression all the time. So sampling just brings like a whole new style to it, doesn't it? It might be like chords that you never would have thought to add before. It's just like some instruments that you never would have thought to add before. So I like to switch up. I like to do a balance of both because there is a satisfying feeling of making your own melody as well and then seeing it all come together. But it's all the same stuff. As long as the end product's fire, then I don't really mind. But I like doing both, you know. It's pretty equal.
Yeah, for sure. I hear that.
What about you?
Yeah, I think same as you, bro. I think I'm probably more on the sampling side now.
Yeah.
Just because of what's going on recently. I just want to keep sampling stuff and just see how it sounds.
Yeah, of course.
But no, the same as you. Like, you know, when you finally get that chord progression, you're like, yo, I can put any sound to this. Or like, you know, when you can try different VSTIs.
Yeah, definitely.
To that chord progression, you can just play around with it. I do like that. So I do think that's good. And then it's like a proud feeling as well to say that you can own that. That's actually your thing. No samples.
Yeah, of course. It's a good skill to have. Definitely. But I know like tons of people that don't even know how to make melodies, but they can make sick beats because they know how to flip samples and their drums are hard. So I guess everyone's just got a different skill set, don't they?
Are you more of a like a music theory guy, or you just play by ear?
I'd probably say a theory guy, you know, just because I did some piano lessons to understand like the basic principles. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of wish that I did just go by ear because you don't really need to understand the theory. And I feel like when you know the theory, sometimes it can limit you because you might do certain things and you might be like, I can't do that because it doesn't fit this scale, or I can't do that because it's not a popular chord progression, or you know what I mean? Like you tell yourself things just because you know the theory behind it, but really if it sounds good, it sounds good. So part of me wishes I just had more of a jazz style teacher that went by ear rather than like chord codes and stuff, you know what I mean?
It's a bit strict, isn't it?
Yeah. What about you? Did you ever learn the theory?
Still learning, brother. Still learning. But I was more. I was more by ear first, and then you get frustrated because you're like, "Fucking hell, what's the next chord?" I can't figure it out in it. And then I started to learn like just the basic chord progressions and like chords because you do need them in a way. I don't know why I needed them. It was like, I just needed to know. Oh, that goes with that. And then it saved like half an hour worth for trying to figure something out.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I can't lie. It does help. It definitely does help, especially if you know like some chord progressions that work. Like I feel like when I'm making melodies, I kind of know what chord progressions have worked for me in the past. So if I'm ever like with an artist, or if I ever just need to bang out a quick beat, then it's just like, let me just jump to this chord progression, and I can always like do some inversions and add to it and change the sounds and everything. But you kind of like create a formula for yourself, if you get me, where you know like a set few progressions that work every time.
Yeah, for sure. I think like it's good when you get to the stage where, all right, I need to make a happy song, so I need to do this. Or like, do you know what I'm saying? Or for me to make like a dark or a sad song, I'll go that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Because before, before for me, when I didn't really know much music theory, I was like, fucking hell, where do I even start? Where do I start with this? Nah,
you're just clicking stuff in, hoping for the best. Yeah, no, I hear that. What was your first placement that you got? Like the first one where you were gassed and thinking, yo, shit's about to get serious.
The biggest one, the first biggest one for me would have been, I made a track called, it was called So Much Cash, and it was Meridian Down.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I was going to say the Meridian Down one.
Yeah, that's when like he was popular at the time. It was like German Whip era, like around that time. And then, I think I gave him the beat, and then he was like, oh, by the way, I've got President T on it and Wiley. And I was thinking, fuck, this is crazy. Like I was just happy that Meridian Down was on it. And that got spun for ages, just on like One Extra and stuff on that DJ Cameo show.
Yeah.
And that kind
of did that even happen?
I just got his email from Twitter, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, how can I send you some beats?
Yeah.
Which I think everyone should do. Like, don't be too proud to be like,
no, definitely.
I'm not going to do that because he might not reply. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, from that, I just did that with everyone. I was just like, how can I send you some beats? And then like he replied and was like, I'll just send them over whenever. And then like, look, it's like, that was it.
That's crazy.
I probably sent him like, there was like 5 beats, and then he picked that one. And he was like, yeah, I love this.
That's it. That got some serious views as well, didn't it? Or some serious plays even.
That did well. I don't know why they didn't do a video. But the good thing from that as well, it kind of started off a chain of placements.
Yeah.
So once everyone heard that, they were like, yo, can you get me some beats as well? And that was nice.
I suppose once you've got those first like few big credits under your name, it just gives you more like status in a way. You know what I mean? Where people will see you and then see the work that you've done. Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost nice because then you've got something to work towards, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
You kind of motivate to be like, all right, I need to make some more beats now.
Yeah, now you're right, actually. I bet, how was that feeling? Can you remember the day when he told you that you got everyone on it?
It was crazy. And I remember in that same week, it was like getting premiered on DJ Cameo show. So they were playing on One Extra, and I was like, fuck, this is crazy. And he shouted me out as well, which is sick. I think I've still got the audio somewhere. Yeah, he shouted me out.
That's mad.
I know. So like hearing that from like before that, it was just like, your mates jumping on your beats and stuff, which is still cool, but you know what I mean? Like to get a proper placement.
Definitely. What were you doing at that point? Were you working, or did you have you didn't have the studio then, did you?
No, I was working. Where was I working? I can't remember. It might have just been like a warehouse job, bro. I'll be honest. I think that's when we're like, I think that's when, when like you and me finished uni.
Yeah. Around about that time.
Then, I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because like we had a decent degree, really. I could have done some computer work somewhere. But I just didn't know what to do. So I went back home and I just got like, I just wanted a job that still, I could make some money, but then still have some free time to make beats and stuff.
Got you. When you went to uni, because that course that we picked had nothing to do with music. Do you think, if you could turn back time, do you think you still would have done it? Like, do you think it was worth even having that course?
No, if I'm honest, bro. I think what I would have done now is something more business or marketing related.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't do that, because I would have enjoyed it.
Or do you think you still would have gone to uni? Do you think it was even necessary?
That's a good question, bro. Maybe. I think for the experience, the uni experience was sick. Obviously going to uni and then just like moving out and like starting fresh in a new city, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, bro, to be honest. I think if I had a good job where I'm at, I probably would have just stayed and just worked and made beats at the same time.
Yeah.
But if I could go back, I don't think I would have done IT like that. Like you remember it got too much into like coding and like
of course.
We had some like weird
I didn't know
modules.
what I signed up for. When we had those modules come through, I was like, what the fuck is this?
You were like me, like we just wanted to like design websites and stuff, and then it just went
like
left,
the creative side.
Yeah, stuff like that I do still enjoy, but like some of it was like I think we had like I think we were creating apps for like Android phones at one point.
Yeah. Well, we didn't even do it. You paid someone, if you remember. You paid some guy to build it for you, and then you hooked me up with the code as well. Nice.
Yeah, fam. I'm trying because we had to. I don't know about you, but I had to switch over to Mac. So I was like, yo, this is all brand new. We had to use Terminal. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to pass this module, bro. And that guy that was around us, I was like, yo, Chucky, whatever. Just do it. Just do it for me.
Yeah, he saved us, He saved us.
That course is funny. What about you? Would you have still gone uni, bro? Or?
I mean, part of me is like, no regrets. Like, if I didn't do that, maybe I wouldn't have gone on to do this, because like everyone's got a certain path. But
yeah, sure.
The other part of me is like, I've never used that course. It's a lot of money to spend, so I probably wouldn't have done it. I can't lie. Yeah. I feel like it was a waste of money, in the sense that I wouldn't really like use that course. The information that I got from that course, it was something that you probably could have just taught yourself in no time. If you think about how much time you actually spend in those lessons for that course in particular, I think uni might be good for someone who wants to do something like real specific. Like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. But those courses where it's just like quite general and you do like a little bit of everything, you don't really become an expert in anything. And especially for like music, like imagine doing like music production at uni now, like paying all that money. Like how much is it a year right now? Like $9,000 a year or something.
It's like over $9,000.
We caught it in the last year, didn't we? Where it was like $3,000 a year.
Sick.
So yeah, we kind of got it all right. It was still expensive, but now I think the return on investment is kind of shit, spending like $9,000 a year and just coming out with a piece of paper that says you can make beats. I'm just talking about people who would go to do music production, where you've got people that can learn it on YouTube in like 6 months or less, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like for certain courses, it's not worth it. And people might say, yeah, but you get the experience and you can network at uni. But if you think about 27 grand just on fees to network, bro, you can use that money and fly out to all kinds of countries and go to studio sessions. And I don't know, I feel like you can get more for your money doing it a different way, my personal opinion.
Like imagine like working somewhere for 3 years and just saving your money and like, do you know what I'm saying? Then you've got the freedom, like you said, to like go wherever, America, live out there for a few months and network properly. Yeah,
try
I feel
and,
like
be an intern or something, like work for free at a studio just to build up connections that way, rather than getting 27 grand in debt.
It's true, isn't it? So
you know what I mean? I feel like there's definitely more options.
I don't know about you, mine was like a combination of stuff. So obviously, same time, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but then like, I did want to get a degree for like my mum and dad, because like, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to make them feel like, I've done something. But then like now I look back, I'm like, it didn't really mean anything really.
Yeah, of course. At that point, did you not? Obviously, you were making music at that point, but did you just think that blowing up wasn't a possibility? Did you feel like it was always just going to be a hobby, or what was your mindset with music at that point?
I think it was like I couldn't see how I could reach the artists I wanted to work with, like so-called big artists or whatever. I couldn't think about like how am I going to network to this guy or whatever. And then at the same time, I don't think my beats were like ready to, or like I'd make 10 beats and then one of them would be fine and then the other 9 are just like trash. Because I'm just like experimenting. This was like towards the end of grime and like the start of like Wiz Khalifa and like, when he made like Black and Yellow.
Yeah.
So there was like a new sound coming. Because I don't know what the UK was back then. I think the UK was like, I don't know if it was like Tinty Strider or whatever back then.
Yeah, you might be right. I can't really remember what was popping in the UK at that point.
Oh, it might have been
of it.
Tiny Temper. I think
you're right, actually.
He had the scene for a bit. So like the UK scene was like a weird pop era on it for a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But then the American stuff was sick. It was like, Black and Yellow and like Rick Ross came out at the time. Like Mac Miller was quite obviously still popular, but he was like dead popular then.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was more just same again. I just enjoyed it, bro. But like I couldn't find a way to get to that point, if that makes sense.
Quite, yeah. Part of me thinks as well, like when we were growing up, we didn't really have. I don't know. There was opportunity, but not as much compared to now. Like in terms of like social media, and we didn't have people telling us the right things. Like your parents might have been similar to mine, where people were saying that music wasn't like a real thing. You know what I mean? Like you had to go to uni and get a job, that kind of vibe. But now we have like all these, like, we have access to so much information now, like people like Gary Vee telling us we can do whatever we want to do and all that kind of shit. We didn't really have that when we were growing up. I think part of it's down to that. Like now, imagine being young now and having access to all this information, being able to learn how to make beats like rapid, just being able to do everything quick. I think your mindset would be completely different compared to us just having like teachers and parents telling us stuff.
For sure. I think, with parents, I think they're coming from a good place, aren't they? They just want like the best for you or whatever. But like, because like we forget parents haven't done this before. This is like, you know what I'm saying? This is still their first lifetime of like having kids and like, oh, what's the best for my kid or whatever. But same, like my mum and dad were like, it's like you stood on the edge of a cliff right now. So like, you sure you want to do this? Because it's going to be a big risk or whatever. But I just told them to reassure them. I was like, look, what I'll do, I'll work and I'll make my music so you can't complain that I'm not doing nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like,
when was the point where they started realizing like, he's actually serious about his music? Or they thought, all right, this is like a full-time thing for you?
I think when I started getting like more placements and then when I got my studio.
Right.
So when I got my studio, it was kind of around the same time I was getting a lot of placements, and then they could see like, oh, it's sustainable then. So like, you can live off that. It's not just like I think in their head, they're thinking like, yo, if I don't see you on TV, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Do you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have to be that. Like, I think a lot of people forget. If you're like an upcoming artist and you can make like 50 grand off being an artist a year, that's sick. That's sick.
Definitely. Even making minimum wages as an artist, for a lot of people, that's so much more enjoyable than doing something like, I don't know, it could be a job that they have no interest in and getting paid twice as much. A lot of people would take the artist route where they could just make music and have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're right, people think, like, especially like parents, they think, if you're going to be successful in music, you're on like Drake level, but that's not always the case. There's a lot of independent artists that are actually making a living off music. And they might not be like worldwide known, they might not be huge, but they're still making it happen.
I think it's hard for that generation to understand. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for like, like a Russ, for example.
Yeah.
Like if I explain that story to someone, like my mum and dad, they'd be like, what the how did he manage to do that on his own? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But I think it's changed a lot now. I think if you're whatever 13 up, you can just be anyone you want, really. You can do anything.
Yeah. Obviously, everyone's like got different circumstances and stuff, but for a lot of people, there's a lot of opportunity. It's crazy.
Did you have the same thing? When you left uni, was yours a bit like, was your mum and dad like, yo, find a good job, like don't fuck about?
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially my dad. Like, me trying to tell them I wanted to do music was just like, all right, keep playing on your toy keyboard and see what happens. You know what I mean?
My dad used to say, my dad was like, yo, you're gonna be like outside McDonald's like busking for change. I'm like, Dad, I ain't
taking the piss.
yeah. But I get what he meant. He was like, he just said it's just it's a risky game, innit? I mean,
definitely. I can see where they were coming from. They just want to know that you're good. You know what I mean? But in my dad's head, like, you're only good if you're making money, and if you're just starting off making music, then you're not making money. So you can't like put it together. You can't see the vision. You know what I mean? He sees it now. Finally, he doesn't like understand what I'm doing, but every time I speak to him, he's like, "Are you still earning money?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right." That's all he cares about.
I know, because I forget, bro. You left you left your job quite late, like to do music, which is sick. And it's like,
yeah, definitely.
I think as you get older, there's more like social barriers. Like, oh, you sure you want to do that? Like at this age?
Yeah, of course. There was like pressure, especially from people at work and everything. I had like a few people that were like, "Nah, just go for it." In my mind, I was just telling myself, what's the worst that could happen? I was blessed in the sense where if everything fucked up, like I wouldn't be homeless. I could like go to my parents. I was like privileged in that sense where not everyone has something to fall back on like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in my head, I was just asking myself, like, if this fucked up, like, what is literally like the worst thing that would happen? And I was like, I don't have the same job. I could get another job. I'm not going to go homeless because I'm sure my mum and dad would put me up for a little bit until I got myself back on my feet. So I was like, why the fuck just not try? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
When I put it like that, I was like, why am I not trying? And I think it was at a point where I was like educating myself as well. I was like listening to a lot of like audiobooks and podcasts and just hearing stories from people. And I'm like, you know what? Like, it's actually possible. You know what I mean? So it just certain things just like changed my mindset completely.
I think I had that shift, brother. You know, when you're at uni and you've got like more time to yourself, that's when I started like reading more and just like, all right, if I'm gonna do music, how am I gonna do it then? Like, what's the plan? Yeah. So I think if people were at that stage where like, oh, what do I do? Should I quit my job or whatever? I don't know if they should, unless I think they can still do both. Like, you can probably get away with doing both for a bit.
Yeah.
Until like you're making something off music to the point where you're like, all right, cool, I can probably quit my job now. I'm all right.
Yeah, you're right. You can definitely do both. It'll be hard work.
Yeah.
Like working all day, then coming home and making music. I get it. It just depends on the individual, doesn't it? Like if that person really asked themselves, like, what's the worst that could happen if I just went for it? And the outcome wasn't that bad, then it might be worth giving a go. But if the outcome was bad and it's like, nah, I've got like no one to fall back on, like parents won't take me in, like whatever it might be, then all right, maybe you're in a worse situation and you need to keep like stay in your job and like try to do both. So it's probably just different for each person, innit? Yeah,
no, for sure. And like, I think you've got to be like, try to be sensible as possible. Obviously, you get some guys that'll just be like, fuck it, I'll just like do or die. I don't care if I have to sleep on the sofa or whatever, I'll do it. Which is, I get that. But then like, if you do have the option where you can like, cool, I can still work and make beats. Because I had it where when I was working, when I came out of uni, I didn't mind coming home and making beats because it was like a getaway from working, innit? If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
But then like, you don't want to put that pressure on yourself, like, oh, I need to make a beat today, or I'm going to feel like I've not done nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right, actually.
So you don't want to put you don't want to put any pressure, really, is what I'm saying, like when you're making music.
Yeah, 100%. It takes away the fun, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I was going to say as well, I suppose if you're working and producing at the same time, at least you're going to have some kind of money to invest in yourself. Like you might be able to buy some VSTs, or you might be able to pay for studio sessions or buy a collab, like whatever it might be, to help you get your name out. Whereas if you just like cut everything off and you have no funds, like sometimes that can hold you back. Like you do need money, like not all the time, but money can help certain situations.
Oh, for sure, man. Even just like getting like saving up for like a nice laptop and like getting some nice monitors. Do you know what I'm saying? It does help, innit?
Of course. Yeah, 100%. Like I never know what to say to people when they message me and they're like, bro, I've got like no money, like my laptop's like fucking all this shit, like I can't open anything. I'm like, I wish I could give you advice, but because I'm not in that situation or I haven't been at that point, I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like I'm not really the guy to ask, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously we've all had shit laptops and everything, but some people are actually like have the bare minimum, and I'm like, fuck, man. Makes you realize like how lucky we are sometimes, you know what I mean?
I know some ghetto setups, and like they made some absolute bangers of it. So
it's
just like I don't think I'm not one of them like you just find an excuse for everything. I think like if you've got a shit laptop for a bit, just get on with it until
you just make the most out of a bad situation. I guess that's the only thing you can do, right?
For sure. No, you got a good point though. I mean, if you do work, you're kind of more flexible on yourself, where like you're still making a bit of money, you can buy whatever, and like there's no pressure. I think it takes the pressure off the music. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Do you think having your studio has been like a key factor for getting placements?
Yeah, I would say so, bro. Yeah, I think you kind of keep so obviously I'm seeing what's current more. So obviously, because I'm working with a lot of younger people, I get to hear what's popular, and then you kind of learn more about space in a beat and like what an artist likes. Do you know what I'm saying? And like how an artist would spit on this, for example. So I think if I carried on making beats in my bedroom, I think I would have just went down a different lane where like in my head this would have been sick, but like to so and so they would have been like, no, this is completely wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? I was listening to some of your recent beats on your YouTube channel. I've always said that your beats have just been like, they're just so spacious, man. Like you can freestyle to any of them. You know what I mean? Like you can just put them on and you can instantly catch a flow to it. Yeah. And I feel like that definitely must have come from running studio sessions and hearing what beats artists pick, or even just producing for artists.
Yeah, for sure.
Like knowing what to save, knowing what like space to save and when to say, all right, the beat's finished, because sometimes you might listen to it when you're making it yourself and then you want to keep adding to it. But then once you've got an artist there in the studio, like, I don't know, it's just like you know when to finish it then.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, wait, my laptop's just running low on battery once.
Oh, is it?
I know. I bet you've had that before, where like when you're still learning, I guess, where you just cram your beats with like 100 sounds, and you're like, yeah, this sounds
definitely
ready. But it sounds ready to you because there's no vocals on it. But then when there's vocals on it, there's like no space at all.
Yeah, definitely. I still do that now sometimes, especially with orchestral stuff, because if you think about how many instruments are actually in an orchestra, like you keep adding new instruments and it soon just like piles up.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of learning like what space to save now.
Sometimes when I make beats, bro, I just take songs a cappella from a song.
Yeah.
Some from the studio, for example. If I like that song, I'll just like take his a cappella. Obviously not put it out, but fling it onto FL Studio and then make the beat around the a cappella. And then I know exactly how much space.
Idea.
Yeah, and then you know for sure like how much space you need and what one needs to go where.
That makes sense.
And then like when you take that cappella off, you're like, oh shit, there's like barely anything on there.
Yeah.
But then that's what they want. That's what the artist wants, right? They want the space.
Yeah, of course. They need to find that pocket, don't they? Do you think you enjoy the engineering side more than producing now? Because do you think you spend more time engineering than you do producing?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I still feel like engineering in a way. No, I do enjoy it, bro. I do enjoy engineering.
It's good that you're hands-on that way, because otherwise it just becomes like a job, doesn't it? Like if you didn't have any creative input, you just, like you said, you'd just be hitting record, just waiting for the next person to come in. But once you actually get involved, I bet it just makes the process a bit more enjoyable. And they're going to respect you more for it as well, because if the final outcome's better, they're going to be like, yo, this guy knows his shit. Like if I didn't try that, I'd be spitting the hook over the verse.
Yeah, for sure. No, I've definitely learned more about like, now when I listen to a song, I can dissect it. You know how you can dissect beats when you listen to someone's instrumental? I can do that with like, whatever's on radio. I'm like, oh yeah, you did that, or you use that effect or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I try to only work with people I like as well, because otherwise it's like, I've had it before where when I was first setting up, I'd just record anyone. And then I'm like, fucking hell, this is turning into a job, innit? I don't want to do this. Like, I want to feel like I'm involved. And no disrespect to the guys or whatever, but I just want to feel like I'm more hands-on. So I try to just keep people I like, as in like artist-wise. Would you ever get
in your like personal space as well when they're in the studio? It's like, I don't know, maybe your personalities just clash, or for whatever reason you don't want to spend an hour like one-on-one with this person. So I completely get that.
You can get that. You pick that up along the way. Some people just carry a bad vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it don't feel like. But along with that, you get to do like cook-ups. So like, because artists are coming through, and then like a lot of people don't know how to make beats. So when I tell them to make beats, I'm like, oh, like you're free for a bit, and then we can cook up something from scratch. And that's like now becoming my favorite thing, where like artists will come through and there's no outcome. We're not thinking of anything. We're just going with whatever comes in. And that's when like the best music's been made.
That's sick.
I did that with Mowgli's Daily Duppy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. That's
crazy.
I just showed him like, it was like a rough draft, and I was like, what do you think to this sample? And he was like, yo, do it. He was like, do it. So I just carried on, and then he was writing as I was making the beat. And then, I don't know, it's just like a nice feeling. It's like an organic feeling. So like in that time, you made a banger.
Like I bet that felt better than getting let's say even like a bigger placement that you've done just over the internet. You know what I mean? Like maybe you've just like sent beats to. I bet that like, cause you've like built that together from scratch, I bet that it was more rewarding in a way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then now I look back, bro, I can, sometimes when I've just sent the beat and I've just realized the engineer's not like, he's not done nothing. He just put the beat on as one channel, and then not done any like anything being like cuts and stuff. Like you could have changed out, you could have added this. So like now what I do now, if I'm sending beats out, I'll tell them like, yo, I mix as well. So like if you want me to have a go at mixing it first.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got their engineer, which is cool, but I'm just like, let me just try it, because you might like my version. And if they don't, they don't. But like at least you've had a go, right?
Yeah. I bet as an engineer, you hate when a different engineer touches your song. You know what I mean? Like if someone takes a beat from you and another engineer mixes it.
Yeah. Well, I can hear what he's done, or he's like, he's missed that bit. And I'm like, yeah, luckily I only mix my own stuff for now, unless it's like a really big artist. But then I always feel like if they're really big, they've got a good engineer in it. They must have a good engineer.
Quite, yeah.
I was going to ask you before, brother, like, what do you think about setting up a studio?
I've thought about it, because what I've got now is just in my house. There's only like so many people you can ask to come to the crib. You know what I mean? You don't want anyone pulling up there. But it depends like what I want to do, because I feel like if I set up a studio, a lot of my time would be spent like recording people. I don't think I'd set one up to like engineer people, because then I just wouldn't have the time for it, because my main focus is like content creation basically.
Yeah, sure.
I just wouldn't have the time to do it. I think it would be beneficial to like have some kind of like central place to be like, you know, like someone can come over if they need to, even if it's just other producers coming to cook up. But yeah, I don't know. At the same time, I kind of like the comfort of my own home as well. Like,
yeah, no, I get
it's
that.
just calm here.
I get that.
I don't have to do no commuting. It's just more relaxing. I kind of like the environment. Some people hate working from home because they're like, nah, I spend all day at home, but I don't mind it. I'm just chilling in my slippers. If I want some food, I just go down and get some food. Like, I think because I was from like working and commuting and stuff,
yeah,
to having like somewhere to go to for work.
Yeah.
When I eventually transitioned into like just being at home, I feel like you get more of your life back.
Yeah.
Because just for that exact reason, like commuting and shit, everything's just like right here. But I don't know. I feel like at some point I'm gonna have to like just get like a bigger spot and get a proper studio set up. But I'm not in any rush to do it.
You're right though. That's the only bad thing. It just takes it away from production a bit, because
yeah,
I mean, if I'm doing sessions all day, I've not got time to make beats. So by the time you get home, like your ears are fried. Like you can't make beats now, innit?
Yeah, of course.
So what I've started to do is just like have designated days for studio, as in like recording artist, and then designated days for production.
Oh dear.
And then, like, yeah. And then like if I make beats and they don't come out the way I want, it doesn't matter. I'll just wait till the next time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You weren't doing that constantly, were you? Because I'm sure before you were just like engineering pretty much every day. I remember you saying that you didn't really have any time to make beats. So you've actually set some days aside now.
Yeah, because what happens is like artists to come in to the studio and like, yo, you got any beats? Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I haven't. I haven't actually got any in it. So I didn't like that, and I didn't want to just be known as an engineer. Like, you know, and some people are shocked. They're like, oh, you make beats as well. I'm like, mate, I've been doing this for ages.
Yeah.
But then that's my own fault.
You're a producer, like engineering was like second for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think now I've done that much engineering, I'm at a space where, right, cool, I can do a bit of both.
Yeah.
Because I did have that year of just like a full year of engineering artist. I'm glad I did it though, because then I put my hours in of like just learning.
Yeah.
Of like, you know, how to make vocals sound good or whatever.
No, 100%. That makes sense. How did I think I asked you this before, but because I saw you in a picture with K Coke, how did that session come about?
That was just a mutual friend, brother. Yeah, someone I met on holiday, believe it or not.
Sick.
We was in somewhere in Greece, and we just got talking, and then he was, you know, he's pretty good at networking with people, and I've just always kept in contact with him, and I think he's from Birmingham. He manages a few artists in Birmingham, and then he was like, yo, I've got this, I'm gonna go check K Coke, and like, I'm showing him some of your beats, and you know, he likes your sound or whatever, so like, do you want to go up and just have a session with him?
That's hard.
Yeah, it was sick. Went up, just like chopped it up with him, just like cooked up some beats and whatever. But yeah, like I think when you get to like a K Coke stage, you got to remember like anyone can use your track or like as in like use your beat. Yeah. But like putting it out is a whole other thing. So like they've got like loads of songs they've recorded, but it doesn't mean like they're all coming out.
Oh, of course. Especially him, because he doesn't release like that much, does he?
No. But like he's got loads of songs. Like stuff he showed me, I was like, yo, why have you not put this out?
Yeah.
But then like, yeah.
It's hard not to get too excited, because you might think when someone comes in for a session, that's a guaranteed placement. It's like, this is happening, but you've probably just learned over time, haven't you, that it's not always the case.
Yeah, definitely. Like you learn that from placements, or like somebody will be like, yo, I've used your beat, but I'm not sure if I'm putting it out. And it's cool, it's fine. It's not, I don't think it's a big thing. Or you know, artists I record, some of them have got like 20 songs in the archive, and I'm like, yo, bro, put some of these out, man. But then in the head, I get it. They're like, nah, it's not ready yet, or I don't want to do it yet. So you can imagine like a big artist will probably have like 50, 60 songs just sat there.
Oh, of course, if they're working on an album especially.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
They must make like hundreds of songs and then pick like 10 to 15 for the album.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I've just got to that point now, even like just sending beats out. I don't mind if like they like the beat, but it's not getting used. It's like, whatever, it's fine. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think, like, not for new producers, but maybe someone that's looking for more placements or to get into production properly, would you recommend that they're looking to get in the studio and maybe running sessions, recording people? Do you think that's a good move as a producer? Let's say they're not really trying to be like engineer, but they're just kind of doing it to pay some bills.
That's a good question, bro. Yeah, I think so. I think like if you just want like a steady income and like say like your beats aren't selling as fast as you want them to or whatever, I think just having a studio, because it's kind of best of both. Like you said, like, you know, with artists coming, I can still sell them beats when they come if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Or we could just cook up, and just, even then from that song, you never know, that song can take off.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think only if it makes sense. I mean, like, if you're already like strapped for cash, there's no point you're renting somewhere out and trying to set up a base. But like, or if like somebody offers you a cheap spot and it can be a place where you can make beats, all you got to do is just stick a microphone there, and you know what I'm saying, you can start from that and just charge people like the bare minimum just to get you going.
Yeah, that makes sense. I suppose at least if people do find a way to like engineer full time and make a living off it, then at least they're in a music environment and they're going to be learning shit along the way compared to if they were just doing like a job they weren't bothered about.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you're with an artist all the time. You learn how to create that space in the beat. You learn how to mix. So obviously the mix of your beats is going to be better. So I can definitely see it being beneficial.
I do enjoy it. It's weird. I can't explain it. It's like, it's like it's still producing, but it's not. It's like I can't really put my finger on it, but
I know what you're saying though.
Like, you know, when somebody sends me like dry stems with no effects and just a beat, I'm like, all right, cool. I know what I can do to this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's almost like you found a sample. Like, you know, if you find a good sample, you know in your head what you're gonna do to it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's that
like
kind
that.
of
You see your envision straight away.
Yeah. Pretty much, probably. Yeah.
You know, when you're making beats, do you actually do much processing to them? Not like creative effects, but in terms of like mixing, like, are you pulling up like compressors and everything, or is it literally just choosing good sounds and having a soft clipper on the master?
Bro, I don't, you know. I used to though. I used to stack like compressors up all the time and like and then as I went on, I think YouTube helped me, to be fair. I watched a lot of tutorials, and most people just have an EQ. They probably just EQ or like this, you know, the soft clipper on Fruity. So like a majority of the time now, I've probably only got like EQs on everything, and then I've probably only got like a multi-band compressor on the stereo output on the master channel. But yeah, I had that phase of just putting stupid effects. It was just like effects and stuff.
Everyone does it, innit?
There are some good
compressors,
ones,
everything.
I bet you've got some good ones though. You know, like that can like make your 808 sound fatter and stuff. And
you know what I do? Like, I was like a plugin junkie at one point. I thought, if I just had these better plugins, I can get my beats sounding better. And I was just getting everything, just spending a lot of money on plugins. But really, as long as you just pick like a good sound to start off with, you don't really have to do anything to it, especially for drill and trap, because all the sounds are electronic, aren't they? It's all like synthesized sounds in a way. It's not like boom bap beats where it's like live drum samples. They're all like processed sounds. So when I'm actually like making a drum kit, that's when I do all my processing. I love like compressors, like, you know, just everything, like saturation. But then once I've made that kit, I'm not gonna then like apply the same effects because I've already done it to get it sounding a certain way. So I'm the same. I'll just have like EQs on like the melody and like not even much to the drums. It's literally just like leveling, and then I use the classic clipper rather than the soft clipper. That's only because it's got a input gain on it. The soft clipper doesn't, does it? But that's not the only difference, really.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, that's another good point that you made, bro. You know, if you pick like a good kit, if you've already got a good sound kit or drum kit, I mean, you don't need to do much, do you, to the sound, really?
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's already been
EQ'd. When you obviously, because when you've got someone and you've made them a beat, when you're exporting it, how do you export it? Do you export it with like the clipper on, or do you bring everything down and export it low? Or,
you mean if it's like a session with
it's just
an
like
artist?
The beat before you bring it? Yeah, say like you're making a beat with an artist, right? Do you, like, before the artist is recording to it, I'm guessing you export the beat from FL and then you bring it into Pro Tools or whatever you use. But when you're exporting it from FL, do you like bring all the levels down so like nothing's clipping, or do you still just kind of have that like clip sound with the soft clipper, and then just bring that full version into the session, if that makes sense?
No, it makes sense, probably. Yeah, I try to keep it at the red mark. So if anything, I'll just put like all my EQs on the single channels, but on the master, I'll just leave like loads of headroom. I think that's important. I think producers forget to do that. You know, everyone just turns their beat up dead loud. And I think like for some stuff, I get it. Like on YouTube, you want your beat to be heard properly. But like in sessions, it's just like you don't realize the beats are just distorted. And like the kicks are too squashed. Because then I've got to now compress again your squash beat. You know what I'm saying? With his vocals.
True.
But
do you notice that a lot then when people are just bringing beats in, that everything's just like mad squashed and there's just no room to work with?
Yeah. I think a lot of the time. Even like if they purchase leases, it's like the sound is like maxed out, so like the kick and the bass is maxed out. You can see that, you know, in the WAV file where there's no space.
It's all like a square or something.
yeah. And like it's fine, but then it's probably not going to get the best sound. It's better when somebody gives me some beat stems. So like when I get them, then I have more control. Then I can like, oh, the bass is way too loud. I can turn the bass down or whatever. But any advice, if you're sending stems to someone, to like for any of the producers, I just probably turn everything down. I think people make the mistake of like turning everything up.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? You'd rather turn that one sound down and turn everything down with it than turn everything up.
Yeah, I can't lie, because I like for like me personally, because most of my beats are just going on like YouTube and like for tutorials and stuff. I just keep everything like up high and I just have a clipper on it and I just get it like smacking. But then there have been times where I've like sent beats out and then I've even like tried to mix someone's vocals on top of one of my beats that has just been like that maxed out version. And you're right, when it gets to that end stage, like the mastering stage, you're like, shit, once you add like a compressor or anything to that master chain, then it just sounds nasty, doesn't it? Because you've already got that like clipped kick, but then you're compressing it again and it just sounds all like boxy and shit, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And there's not much room for the vocals in it.
Yeah.
Which I think people forget. But yeah, you can't win because you do like you don't want a quiet beat on YouTube. Like you can't have it.
Yeah.
They're quiet. But then I also think if that artist wants to properly invest, he should buy the stems.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
I suppose that's like one thing that like a producer could say is like an upsell point. It's like, yeah, you pay less for the MP3 version because the end result isn't going to be as good as it could be with the stems. It's like a selling point, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously, I know like I was going to say all the big artists, they always ask for the stems up front. Like they want the stems straight away. Like because they want, you know what I'm saying? Because they know like I can't mix just a one track channel or whatever. I get it. Obviously, they've probably got a budget to do that. But like if you feel like, yo, this song could be the one, it's worth just investing a bit into it, innit?
Oh, 100%. Definitely. What kind of stuff are you adding to, what does your vocal chain look like? You know, when you've got artists recording.
Oh, I can't
obviously mixing beats is one thing, but then mixing like vocals is a whole other thing, innit?
I can't give everything. I'll give some though. I'll give some. I had a habit of like stacking compressors, which I learned it was just squashing the sound too much. So even then, I still think if you just have one or two good compressors, you don't have to go crazy with it. I think a good EQ for sure. You need a good EQ. I always have like a noise gate on, which cuts out like the background noise and and the noise bleed from the headphones. What else would I have? A really good plugin I like is the Waves Real Time Auto Tune.
Oh yeah.
That's so sick. That's like that's literally when they're in the booth they can hear themselves how it's gonna sound straight away.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Also, do you have that vocal chain like tracked to the headphones, or do you have a separate one for that?
Yeah, track. What I do, I've saved. I use Logic, so on Logic, I've saved I've saved like. So if so and so wants auto tune, I'll just click my auto tune channel.
So they can hear it as a recording.
Yeah. So they'll hear it as like off the fly, which is good really because then it kind of helps them to sing a certain way to get to that point. What else do I use? Probably I use a lot of Fab Filter stuff. I don't know if you've heard of Fab Filter.
Yeah, I just got their stuff recently. I was using the EQ for a while, but then I just got their other stuff as well.
Sick. Yeah, they've got some like the DRS. Yeah, I use the DSer and the EQ's got as well, and they've got like some good compressors and stuff. But yeah, I say to anyone, just like try not to overdo it with compressors, man. Just find a good one and just tweak it.
Got you. All right, bro. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer because I know it's been going on for a while.
And it's been good, man. Oh, time's flown. Time's flown. Bro.
Yeah, that's what I read. I was looking at it. I didn't know if you had somewhere to be, so I didn't want to keep you on too long.
Nah, it's all good. Brother, thank you for having me, man. It's well overdue, I guess.
Oh, 100%. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out your day, and just let everyone know where they can find you as well.
Yeah, you can find me on any social media account. It will be just /Prince and then Baza, BAZA. But yeah, cool. I mainly use like Insta and like Twitter, so just hit me up on there.